afternoon, so it was about 1:45 p.m. I'm out here at Namadgi National Park. So I'm out here just for a quick overnight camping trip. Here for more of a portfolio refresh more than anything. I had a look at my website the other week and just looking through some of the images. Some of them could definitely use a bit of work. A couple of weeks ago I did come out here on a trip pretty much identical to this one I planned. I went to Shanahan Mountain and Shepherd's Lookout, if I remember. And I was looking at the images I took from there, and I just don't think they really hold up very well anymore. So I'm just coming out here to basically just retake them and just do a bit of a scouting trip as well, see what's around the area. So right now I'm just out at the Yerrabee track at the Tors Lookout. So it's sort of a granite boulder which overlooks some of the park. And this is going to be potentially a new sunrise location. As I just mentioned before, Shepherd's Lookout is one I wanted to refresh, but doing a bit of scouting I did come across this location, and it does look pretty nice. I think the view is a bit more interesting. It's a bit more dynamic, I guess. I think it's a lot more interesting shapes, the mountains and whatnot. But yeah, I'm just coming out here for a bit of a scout. I'll probably take some little snapshots as well because there's some nice light going on at the moment. But other than that, I might just hang around here for a bit and then head up to Shanahan Mountain near sunset. If there's going to be one, it's a bit clouded over at the moment. And then decide what I want to do tomorrow morning. But I'm thinking this is going to be the location because this is quite nice actually. Yeah, but not much else other than that. Just having to have a bit of a relaxing trip, a bit more slow than Bungonia. Not too much hiking involved today, only about 5 or 6 k's. But yeah, just sort of enjoy the area a bit, do some scouting, because the whole of Namadgi National Park has been reopened recently, so got a few more camping trips planned, so I sort of also want to treat this as, again, a bit more of a scouting, get an idea of some more shots I can get around here. This is a really cool area, this one. But yeah, I'll call this the last vlog, hang around here for a while, and I'll see you at Shanahan Mountain. Alrighty, so it's about 3:50 now, and I'm out at Shanahan Mountain. So I did a little hike just up the top here, and I basically set up a very similar place to I think where I was last time. I do plan on shooting a bit of a different composition. On my last shot, which I think definitely could have used some improvement, which is why I'm sort of back here. I used some of these foreground trees, which sort of have this sort of bright lime moss color to them. Used those in the foreground and then had the mountain range in the back. I just, looking back at the shots, I think it was just added a bit too much to the image. I feel like it distracted a lot from the background mountains. So I think I'm basically just going to be focusing exactly on that ridge and sort of on the valley that leads up to the Tidbinbilla Ranges at the back. So basically just trying to simplify it. I think as well, I was sort of messing around with some new camera settings back then and some new editing software, so that made the final result a bit worse. I actually checked the metadata when I was reviewing the image again. What I had done is a bracketed image of 9 images, right? But instead of doing, a 2/3 stop difference or 1 stop difference between each of the shots, it was 0.3. And it was quite a lot of movement that day, and I think there was a bit of camera shake, so merging these 9 images with barely any difference and with movement in between them just made a very messy looking image, even just on a technical level. So yeah, not going to do that this time. I probably still will bracket, but definitely not 9 images, maybe about 3 or so. But yeah, have about about half an hour before I need to start getting things ready, maybe a bit later than that. So I'll probably just hang around here, and I'll see you when I've decided the composition. Probably be very similar to last time, but hopefully this time goes a lot better. And I guess the only thing I should mention is that I was a bit worried about clouds today, but it has cleared up very nicely, and it's looking like they should position themselves quite well for tonight's shot. But yeah, see you in a bit. Afternoon. So it's about 4:50 now. So it's about 20 minutes until the sunset, and not looking too good. I sort of made the mistake of sitting around for a bit too long. I sort of underestimated how quickly the light fades away in the scene. I kind of forgot, but I'm holding out hope a bit, because I do remember last time, just as I was starting to pack up, there was a big beam of light on the Tidbinbilla range in the shot. So I'm holding out hope there will be something a bit later. Yeah, anyway, my composition, I did sort of backtrack a bit. I've gone for something. So initially when I was like planning out a bit, I was doing a bit of zoom shots, focusing in on the ridges. Then I tried to experiment with the panorama as well, and I ended up just settling for pretty simple, just wide shot. Quite a bit wider than the initial image, as in the one I took last trip I was out of here. I just think it sort of uses the layers a bit better, uses the valley a bit more as a leading line. It's kind of got a good Z composition, so the eye leads in with this grass on the right, on the left, sorry, I should say. Heads right, starts the valley, heads diagonal up to the top left, and then ends at the Tidbinbilla peaks. So yeah, I think the composition works a bit better. I am bracketing 5 shots, 2 stops over, 2 stops under. That's in total, and yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with the light. But other than that, that's probably been my last vlog for the day. As for tomorrow, I was reviewing some of the scouting shots I took at the tours early today. I think that shot's pretty nice. I just think, seeing as I've gone through that effort already, I might as well take that shot here. I can always take the one at Shepherd's Lookout on another day. But yeah, I'll see you in the morning. Hopefully I get something. But yeah, other than that, yeah, see you tomorrow. Morning, so it's around about 6:30 now. It's probably about 20 minutes or so until sunrise. So I'm set up here on the tours, and I've just got my composition all ready to go. Now, you've probably noticed a pretty distinct lack of B-roll this morning. There's 2 reasons for that mainly. Firstly, I forgot my head torch. I realized when I got back to the car yesterday that I just didn't bring it this trip. So I basically had to rely on my phone to navigate my way through that path this morning down to here. So obviously I couldn't do any filming. And the second reason is that the part of the tours, which I'm sitting on right now, is very slopey. And the little tripod I'm using for my phone doesn't have any sort of extendable legs or anything, so it would just fall over constantly. So that's not really an option either. So doing the best with what I got, but yeah, not too much B-roll this morning. But I'll just walk you through my composition, which is pretty much exactly as I scouted it. Now, originally when I first looked at this place on Google Maps, I imagined the composition sort of telephoto-ish, maybe around 85mm or so, zoomed in using this front layer of trees and then the mountains in the back, sort of like a classic sky, mountains, trees sort of composition. So classic landscape really, using rule of thirds and all that. But when I got here, it was just a bit messy. There was a lot of different banks of trees, which I didn't anticipate getting in the way of the shot. Also, there was the live bank of trees, which I anticipated to use. And just before that was the dead bank of trees, and they sort of like got in the way of the composition. I thought it was just really messy and just, yeah, a bit distracting in general. So what I decided to do in the end is move a bit further down the tour to the slopey bit where I am right now. And I've composed for a 1x1 crop.
And basically what I'm doing is, at the bottom of the tors, there's this giant, like this group of giant boulders. And I think it's sort of using that in the 1x1 in the bottom left third, using the mounds in the back, and then having the tree sort of accentuating the composition. Just leads it to a much more interesting shot. And I feel like it sort of tells the story a bit more of the scene, you know? I feel like the original shot, you know, it's just trees and mounds, it could be anywhere, but I feel like having these granite boulders sort of makes it a more distinct location, I think. So that's basically the composition. Probably just sit around a bit until sunrise. The light's actually quite nice at the moment, heading into blue hour soon. But yeah, that's basically it. I have quite high faith for this shot. I think it should be quite nice. But yeah, I'll see you after the sun rises. Hopefully this turns out well. Yeah, feeling pretty good about this. Well, that concludes my trip. Hope you enjoyed. As you can see, the light was quite nice this morning. I'm going to head back to the car now, have a nice hot shower. See you in the next one. And yeah, good to be out in Namadgi again.